what's up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you another fairy tale discussion. Today I want to talk about why the fairy tale anime should come back and why we should be hearing rumblings of it. As you guys know, the fairy tale manga is coming to a close. We have roughly 9 weeks left unless Hiro Mashima decides to do a special double chapter, which isn't out of the realm of possibility. And because of this, and because Fairy Tail Dragon Cry is airing over in Japan and it's going to make its way western before the end of the summer, I think it's time for us to start wondering, will the fairy tale anime come back? And given the fact that Fairy Tail, just as a manga without an anime for the last 2 years, has been able to consistently make the top sellers list for manga volumes, I think that because Fairy Tail is making enough money to do that and to warrant having a movie put in, I think that they should play with the idea of bringing the anime back. If you look at where the anime left off, one of the things that we saw was that the Fairy Tail group had been disbanded. The entire guild had separated, and Natsu, after the time skip, shows up at the new Grand Magic Games and he melts down the arena. He meets up with Lucy, and then they go off in search of the remaining members of Fairy Tail. And it just seems so wrong to not adapt that, especially given the fact that we have enough source material to go through the Fairy Tail reunion part and then to go through the Alvarez Empire arc, which answers so many questions. And if you look at how A1 Studios, who did the Fairy Tail anime, when you look at how they did it, there's enough material to where we could get 70 to 80 episodes of just canon material if they adapt the remaining part of the manga. And the other thing on this is when you look at just the Fairy Tail story in general, there are a lot of questions that are being answered in the Alvarez Empire arc. While we can have a separate discussion on whether or not the arc is coming to a good close, and by extension the series itself, the fact that we're getting answers about Natsu's past, about E&D, about the relationship with Zeref and Mavis, and we're seeing more about Agnologia, the fact that we're getting all of this should be enough reason to have them come back and do the anime and do it without filler. I definitely feel like they could get away with just doing a straight canon adaptation, similar to what they did with Inuyasha a few years ago, where they did the final act and they kept the filler to a minimum. I could definitely see them doing this for Fairy Tail. Again, it just makes the most sense to take this stance. And just to play devil's advocate, if they decide to not do a final season for Fairy Tail, which again I think will be an absolute horrible idea, this wouldn't be something that is unprecedented, because if you go back to when Rurouni Kenshin decades ago came out, they didn't adapt the last part of the manga, the last arc. They just left off after Kenshin defeated Shishio and they gave us a bajillion episodes of filler. So hopefully this isn't what happens with Fairy Tail, but that's just my thoughts on this matter. Again, I definitely feel like we should be hearing something about the Fairy Tail anime, given the fact that the manga has continued to sell pretty decently. But those are just my thoughts on this matter, guys. If you're new, make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have an awesome day.